Kilmer is appearing via Zoom, Your Honor.
I do see that. I have received a Catholic Human Services Substance Use Assessment Report. It's dated September the 18th from Charles Heidema. Have you received a copy of that, Mr. Dick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Brucker, have you also received that or not?
No.
Should have. My apologies.
Oh.
All right. The report indicates that the assessor believes that client appears to meet the minimum criteria for alcohol use disorder mild. Recommendation is to continue with mental health counseling and psychiatric services based on client's report of current clinical diagnosis. Also, as to substance abuse, to remain abstinent from alcohol and other drugs, and to add a focus with their current counseling services for substance abuse education. Right. I have also received a copy of the victim impact statement, although I find a majority of it very difficult to read. Ms. Brucker, is there any victim that wishes to make a statement?
He is here. I don't know if there's anything he wants to add. I thought he was here. Oh, there he is. Gavin, is there anything additional you'd like to add?
No, not really.
Well, help me out a little bit, Mr. McDonald, because I'm having a hard time reading your writing, and I apologize for that, but it's just the copy that I have is relatively dark, and some of the words that you've written on there I couldn't follow. So if you could just kind of summarize what it is that you want me to know, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, I was very shaky whenever I was writing it, but basically I was just saying that it's affected my life a lot because after the incident happened and everything, it was a lot harder to trust people, and my relationships with other people were damaged because of everything. And yeah, it's just been hard, very, very hard to recover.
All right. And I can truly appreciate that. So thank you very much for that summary. I do want you to know I was interested to hear what you had to say. All right. Ms. Kilmer, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask each of the lawyers for their thoughts on what the sentence should be. That's a process called allocution. Once you've heard all of what the lawyers have to say, I'm then going to give you that same opportunity to tell me what you think sentencing should be. So we'll start with the prosecution and Ms. Brucker.
Judge, I would just ask the court to place her on a period of probation so that she can follow some of the recommendations in that assessment. And that's all I have. Yeah, that's all I have.
Is there any request from the victim for no contact to be continued?
Gavin, would you like that to continue?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Dick, your allocution, please.
Yes, Your Honor. So Ms. Kilmer, she does have a history of mental health issues that she had been dealing with for some time. During the period of this incident, she had essentially been off of her medications and out of therapy for a period of time. And it was something that appeared to be that was trying to be dealt with within the relationship by Ms. Kilmer and her boyfriend at the time. And she ultimately did not have what she needed to keep her in the right state of mind. Since this incident, Your Honor, she did get back into therapy. She's been back on her medications. She is in a much better place. The gist of it is she's never been in trouble. She's never I'm told that she's never even been in any sort of a fight with anybody. She's never threatened anybody. So she is currently, due to her move, getting her services restored at present. She did move, I believe, this 2.5 weeks ago, and she did not have the necessary documentation to get her services reestablished right away. She should have them set up within this next week. She was just waiting on receiving a new copy of her birth certificate and social security card because she did not have the original ones with her. She did stay at a crisis home for a while prior to her recent move, Your Honor, and that was extremely helpful in helping her to feel secure and maintain the services that she needed to get everything back in order in her life. Going forward, Your Honor, she is, I believe she is 19 years old. Sorry, my apologies. 20. Ms. Kilmer, could you refresh my memory?
21 years old.
21 years old. My apologies. She does have aspirations to go back to school here and is planning on in the very near future to pursue perhaps a bachelor's degree in psychology. With that being said, Your Honor, we are also seeking HIDA in this matter, so we would agree that a short-term probation would be necessary, and it would also helpful to allow the court to ensure she is back on the necessary services that she requires. With that being said, Your Honor, she is just back to work recently. She does only earn $9 an hour at the present time, and we would ask the court to take into consideration her financial situation when assessing fines and costs in this matter. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kilmer, you also had the opportunity to address me. If there's anything else that you want me to be aware of or anything that you believe that should be given to me prior to the imposition of sentence, this is your opportunity, ma'am.
I have no comments, Your Honor.
All right. Well, there was a plea on September the 15th to disturbing the peace and a dismissal of the domestic violence defense counsel has asked for HIDA. Ms. Brucker, do you have any objection to HIDA?
I don't know if I guess I'll leave that to the court, Judge. I'm not going to take a position on it.
All right. Mr. McDonald, are you still with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
What the attorneys are asking for, what we call HIDA, is the Holmes Youthful Trainee Act, which is a special kind of probation that says if the defendant completes the probation term successfully, the case is dismissed and there is no long-term criminal record given. Do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Typically, for a disturbing the peace, I would not put the person on probation for a lengthy period of time. However, the underlying incident here appears to be domestic violence related, so I'm going to do a term of probation of 1 year even though the conviction is for disturbing the peace, because I want to make sure that Ms. Kilmer gets the appropriate treatment and makes that a habit in her daily life. There's a crime victim fee of $75, a justice assessment of $50, court costs of $200, local assessment of $15, and a fine of $100. For the 1 year of probation, there's a probation oversight fee of $360. Let me add that up. Total of $800 that can be paid over the course of probation. Ms. Kilmer may perform community service in lieu of fines and costs at the discretion of the probation officer. She must enroll in and successfully complete treatment or educational programs consistent with the assessment, which would include mental health treatment, and substance abuse treatment. And she may do so with her current provider, and that need not be bifurcated. That means that she can do them with the same counselor, but they must touch on both of those subjects. All right, there will be no consumption or possession of alcohol or drugs except as prescribed. No entrance to a business where alcohol is served by the glass. Ma'am, that means that you may go into a restaurant that happens to serve alcohol. You may not go into the bar portion of the restaurant, but you may not go into a bar that just happens to serve food. Do you understand the difference between those two?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. There will be no assaultive, abusive, intimidating, or threatening behavior. You may not associate with Gavin Harris McDonald. And because she's currently living out of state, I'm not going to require either jail or work camp. However, I will require 10 hours of community service work. She may do that in Kentucky, but it must be at a nonprofit or public service agency. And that would be approved by probation. Ma'am, do you have any questions about the sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dick?